my curse of overthinking and trying to hold control over everything has led me into a path of suffering, and it is my nature, yet it's something that I became aware of and why I found out why I'm doing it in the first place. I really wanted to serve people, but it came at the cost of my own identity. With the overthinking, I get trapped in my mind. It's like a block. That's the easiest way to describe it right now. I trap myself all the time. How did I get out of that? And how am I here? It took a while. It takes a while. Well, it takes the amount of focus and the acceptance. With focus and acceptance, one can break free. The intention within can just shatter. Everything can just shatter around you. Isn't that something? It shatters your illusion of what you are. To overcome it, you will meet a lot of people who are just like you. And I truly believe, well, I know that people will be constantly coming to your lives as these lessons. Of course, as you know, we're individuals, of course. But y'all will invoke each other. It's like a frequency that harmonizes with somebody else, with something else. And this thing will keep happening and happening and happening. And now I tell myself that I have to go through this, whatever it is. And the mind can make up all these scenarios, for me personally, makes up all these scenarios of what is right, the right way to do this. How can I control everything about it? What can I see? What is the system? And I'll just be constantly in this out of like this anxiety. And I got nowhere. But I got really far. That's the thing. That's the tricky thing about the mind. I don't give myself enough credit for how much I've overcame that. And it's like a thing that latches on to you. I was trying to sleep. Well, when I was sleeping earlier, I woke up like around 3 a.m. No, I lied. I went to sleep at 8 p.m. Super early for me. Anybody who knows me. I went to sleep at 8 p.m. I woke up at 12. I was imagining I'll wake up at like 6 a.m. or something like that. You know, something cool. You know, like something delicate. But I woke up at 12. And this was like, wow, this is not what I expected at all. So I tried to go back to sleep because I didn't want to get on my phone and just travel endlessly of wherever I go with my addictions on social media, of doom scrolling, you know, as one does. I watched some dumb video about a hippo, and I was like, alright, let me put my phone down. And I wanted to feel myself. I wanted to hold the cravings I was feeling in that moment. And in that, I felt my mind. I watched my mind and how it just grabbed stuff, how it just lashed to these people and saying, I want this, I want to control this, and the wrath that it had behind that, and the power, the overwhelming wrath it has. And in that moment, I wonder if you can hear this playing. Probably. And in that moment, I understood where it came from. The wanting to feel validation from people, distracting myself from my own self. The overthinking, the mind just works in these puzzles, the constant patterns, and the recognition of that is the thing that sets you free. There's plenty of other things, of course, but that is something major for me. And to make the identity, I think, physical outside and just be able to perceive it is something so strange, isn't it? To perceive yourself, to fully like, wow, this is me, man. This is me. This is who I am. This is who I've been with. And is this the person I want to Is this the person I want to be? And there it is, another moment. There's another moment of expectations. And from there, I can see the more I'm expecting out of myself is something that can take you through and accomplish great things. Yet, to be absent of desires, to be absent of expecting something out on the other side. I read this in the Bhagavadgita of Lord Krishna. Super great book. I think there's someone over there. Great book. And it really made me think about everyone around me being so close to that reality of being myself. And I'm in the same reality of them. Yet that same circumstance is not far. It's never far. And the illusion of security is always around us. And we tell ourselves that we trapped it in the mind. And we latch onto those ideas of security and all those things, and we grab onto it. And once it gets taken away, it's like a ripping out of your mind. It rips your soul, like it rips your heart. And we say we need it. We need that. When I focus, I feel free. When I accept my desires, when I accept what's coming out of me, flowing out of me, when I want to understand myself, this is where change happens. This is where the path of breaking in one's mind comes. So you can be here, I used to always call my dissociation a very bad quirk about myself. Yeah, I used to hate it. Let me make sure I'm still recording. I used to hate it. I'll always be out of tune or not here or always in the room. I feel everything. I'll be so attached and grabbed on, and I confused it for my own identity at times, but it was never me. It was never me, yeah. It was never me. Yeah, what is you? You know, like, what are you? You could ask yourself. I like that. I always think about it in this way. There's your identity, right? There's your reality. There's your identity behind it, attached to it. And there's all that, what you've been brought up with, what you are, that you have to be this, you have to be that. Things you tell yourself, the beating, the self-beating you do all the time. What I did all the time. From that, you can watch it. You watch the suffering. And this was where my dissociation really happened. And that really happened to me when I learned about the power of now. I became aware of my dissociation. I just didn't know how out of tune I was with myself. And from there, from that little golden dissociation, the watcher, and you can watch the monkey, as they say. The monkey of the mind, just ramble around. Excuse me. The dissociation, I changed the term to detachment when I started learning it more. And within that detachment, it came this thing called, well, I call spiritual bypassing, and I'm pretty sure it's been called that by other people as well. And from that, you can become hyperlogical. I was always a hyperlogical person, but very empathic as well. Yet with this spiritual bypassing, I became aware of my own identity, and from that I skipped the emotions connected to it. So I was able to understand a lot of literature, a lot of people without ever attaching myself to it now. So I was the watcher of my emotions in that moment, but I never claimed them. I never claimed them as mine. And there's the detachment, or the watcher, or the monkey. The monkey is mine, and the watcher. And behind that, there's the awareness, the energy, the realm of realms, God. And behind that, I don't know yet. I would call that God or everything. Vibrations, frequencies, you know. I'm not too sure. I'm not constantly in that state anymore, but it's chill. And in detachment, you can see your mind. Well, of course, you know, you can see your mind. And from there, you can start to deroot it, as I call it. And from there, you can reverse engineer why you're like that. And you pick these little seeds, these little flowers that have rooted down, these trees, these powerful things in you. And these are all emotions, and they're guides, and you can grab them and you feel it. You feel like when you touch something, when something comes up that's important, you feel the resistance on it, and you can grab it and make focus, and it's up to you, or you can get help as well to really navigate it and deroot it. And from that is in a big emotional explosion. I felt always that it's just a relief. Like, oh my gosh, I'm set free from this. I am set free from this. And I'm the one holding myself on. I think of the story of the donkey. I tell my friends a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong. The story goes, there was a monkey. There was a man who took his monkey, what? There was a man who took his donkey to a post. And took his donkey to the post, and he had a leash on him, like me, right? Like me. He tied He ties himself to the post. And the owner leaves. And another animal, I'm not sure if it was an animal or man, comes up and say, why didn't you leave? Like, why didn't you leave? The donkey says, I'm attached, I can't leave. I can't leave. Then the man comes and unties him from the post. And the donkey says, and the man says, you're free now, you can leave. And the donkey says, I'm attached, I can't leave. And without the donkey knowing he's free, he set himself attached to the post, and he can't leave because of what he's agreed within himself or what he's attached to. And I'll be the donkey, and I'll be the man, and I'll be the leash, and I'll be the everything else. But we attach ourselves to these things that no longer exist anymore. And sometimes we're really tied to it. And I've learned that for a lot of things about myself. I would say I'm not that attached to life. Then a circumstance comes up, and then I'm like, damn, this is unfortunate, you know. And I feel myself rivel and boil up inside. And I never express it, you know. But the acceptance of it, I see how attached I am and the lessons, and I become grateful that I'm able to feel this. I want to go back to spiritual bypassing. From spiritual bypassing, I wasn't able really to feel or accept those things that happened to me. But you must feel them, and that's the way you'll be. That's the way you can break free of your mind. I remember this time with my friend, I was heavily into non-duality by Susanna. And this broke me. And I just became so detached, and I had such a hard concept grasping time as well. But all this exists in our human experience. And we must hold on, but not hold on. As we must be there, accept it, then let it flow. After enough time of being so detached from myself, like your body will speak for you. It shows up in your relationships, shows up in yourself, how you treat yourself, shows up in everything. You have to listen. You have to listen. Because when you really listen, you can feel God, you hear God, and in every word you feel the divinity, divine nature. I don't know how to say divinity. You feel the divinity, the divine, in each step, and the crumpling of leaves, you know. And it's incredible just to be here, and to feel it, and to feel the pain that arises, to understand it. Coming back down, there was a woman I met, and I talked about this spiritual bypassing. And she just basically told me that's not human, you know? I was like, oh damn. Oh dang. That's so true. I'm not even here, but I feel like I understand this. But I don't. That was a few years ago. And from there, I feel like I came back like a calm into my body. And I felt these waves of emotions crashing down into my psyche, and really I felt my mind. I felt all that I avoided in my detachment that I called so superior the way I used to believe in. Yeah, there's no superiorness if you just keep avoiding it. There's not superiority at all. You just have to understand yourself, really listen to everything you say, listen to what you feel. That's love, you know? I really believe that's love. We can understand yourself, be compassionate, do something, see it change, let it flow at you, you know? Be freaky, I don't know, do anything. Just be yourself. Loud car. And when those emotions come back, for me, it was super heavy. I remember just crying or being overwhelmingly happy, feeling anger, all these emotions that I thought I understood, but really I just read the papers, but I never acted in them. But I was able to understand. I was able to use my logic with my emotions, and I was able to combine them. And for when they came up, I came up with this new term called shedding. It would be called shedding. And whenever I would feel something, say I would be in the fist of rage or covered in lust or sadness, or I feel some shame within me, whenever it will come up, I'll use my logic and be detached, but be attached as well as with the love. And I can give myself compassion. So I feel like it's more logical to demonstrate more better. I will become attached because it arises in me, and I have to honor them. And from there, I can feel it, understand it, give compassion towards it, then detach and let it flow out of me. And when it arises again, it doesn't affect me as it's like a part of my nature now. I just accept it, whatever it is. And that is shedding. Because you grow from it, like a snake, like a beetle, like a wasp. Do wasps shed? Who knows? I don't know. I really feel that's the path out for me as of right now. I'm always learning. I do my best to learn. I've been reading a lot more, thank God. Started reading the Bhagavadgita, finished it. Phenomenal. I don't want to give it a rating. I need to read it again. Wow, look at that. Let me be here so I can see the grooves. I can feel the wind. Feel the sun when it becomes warm again. Feel the cold when it's cold. See the sunset. Be grateful for all of it. Even though we'll always be in pain, and that's our nature. Yet the love of suffering, the love of our nature, what we are, and the love for others and all things will set us free from our mind, one's body, and feel the love of God at all times. Thank you. let's see how this works. I hope this sounds good. Let me know. All right. Godspeed. Stay safe. Love all.